This video is going to look at basic differentiation and how to differentiate different points and find the gradient function and consequently the gradient at different values. So we know that to find the gradient of the tangent curve we need to differentiate to find the gradient function. So if we have y equals x squared, then the gradient function is given by dy by dx, and we differentiate, we times by the power, so we get 2. We take 1 off the power, so we get x to the 1, which is the same as just 2x. So that's our gradient function. Now we want to find the gradient when x is 2. So we put 2 into this, we get 2 times 2 is 4. When x is 5, we put 5 into this, and we get 2 times 5, and that gives us 10. When x is minus 2, we put minus 2 into this, and we get 2 times minus 2 is minus 4. Next, we're going to look for all these questions. We're going to find the gradient at the given point. So the first thing we need to do is obviously find the gradient function of this. So if we've got y equals 2x squared, we need to find dy by dx. And we differentiate by times by the power. So 2 times 2 is 4. Take 1 off the power gives me x to the 1, which is just x. That's my gradient function, so I want to find the gradient of the curve at the given point. So when x is minus 2, put x is minus 2 into this. So at x equals minus 2, dy by dx, the gradient function will equal 4 times minus 2, which equals minus 8. So let's put that in. Next one, we're going to find the gradient of this function when x equals 2. So we find our gradient function, dy by dx, equals times by the power, so 3 times 2 is just 6. Take 1 off the power gives us x to the 1. Now numbers, when you shift up a graph, do not affect the gradient, so that plus 2 just disappears, okay, because it doesn't affect the gradient whatsoever. So our gradient function is just 6x. So at x equals 2, dy by dx, the gradient function, is equal to 6 times 2, x equals 2, so that just gives us 12. Okay, differentiate again to find the gradient function. Dy over dx equals times by the power, 2 times 5 gives me 10. X, take 1 off the power, so it gives me 1. Remember, the number on the end doesn't affect the gradient, so it doesn't come into the gradient function. That's just 10x. So at x equals minus 4, that gives us 10 times minus 4, which equals minus t. Okay, y equals x cubed. Differentiate that, dy over dx, times by the power, so we times by 3. Take 1 off the power, gives me 2. I want to find it at x equals 2. So x equals 2, we know that dy over dx will equal 3 times 2 squared. Square the 2 first, always do powers first, gives me 4. 3 times 4 is 12. Okay, now we're going to do 3x squared at x equals 1. So y equals 3x squared, so differentiate dy over y over dx equals times by the power, 2 times 3 is 6. Take 1 off the power, gives me 6x to the 1, so it's just 6x. At x equals 1, we get dy over dx is equal to, put 1 into that, we get 6 times 1, which just equals 6. Okay, one of our last few ones. So differentiate this, we get dy over dx times by the power, 2 times 2 is 4. Take 1 off the power, gives me 1. Numbers don't affect the gradient, so we just get x. At x equals 1, we know that dy over dx will equal 4 times 1, which equals 4. y equals 3x squared. Let's differentiate that. dy over dx times by the power. 2 times 3 is 6. Take 1 off the power, gives me 1. Gives me 6x. At x equals 1, we get dy over dx will equal 6 times 1, which equals 6. And that is the end of our video for our basic differentiation. So just remember that when you're differentiating, we times by the power and take 1 off the power.